grinding down in 6K. They be asking why I'm this way. Cali calling trying to pitch game. Like west side on this way. Yeah, kicking the boxes, sick as the foxes, sitting in boxes, up in the office, up in the posture, up to the Oscar. This dude trying to run game, cause I'm fresh off the runway. I ain't fucking with him one day, ain't enough pay for that one way. I know game when they sell it, I read the play when they run it. I know fame is a hellish lifestyle, slave at the top till you plummet. You ain't the one cause you want it.
Yeah. Ollie, how you going, man?
Good, bro. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good.
Welcome to Command Central.
HQ.
How you been, man? I like your jacket.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah, it's wicked.
Yeah, you're getting an exclusive. This one's for a video clip coming up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you haven't worn it before?
No, you're getting the first wear, eh?
What a privilege.
Yeah, man. Straight out of the box.
Holy crap, this is new for us.
Yes, this is our new pad.
The new
Nice
pad.
pad, man.
Yeah, how do you feel? Does it feel alright?
Feels dope. Yeah.
It feels weird. Cool. My legs are exposed. So we usually have like a big desk,
a table we sit behind,
that we sit behind,
like we mean
hide
business
your boxer
or
shorts.
Yeah. Hide the fact that we're not wearing pants.
Yeah. I'm showing a bit of skin.
Yeah, nice, man. Are they pre-ripped or did you rip them yourself?
Half.
Yeah.
I bought them half ripped and I wanted more ripped, so.
Right, so you ripped it more.
Yeah.
I heard that you can do it with razor blades. Like, you know those, like, shavers?
Oh, legit.
Yeah, you can just, like...
Slice it up.
Hack away at them.
Yep.
Yeah. Charge another $100 because you have to wait them.
Yeah. Sell them twice as much.
Man, how you been, man? How, like, that track there that we played, that's your new one, man.
It is indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been good, man. I've been busy, sleeping very little, as always at the moment. It's been good, but yeah, it's been sort of a lot of like, I was going to say time management, but I should probably say like bad time management.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like all over the place, but I'm accomplishing things, so it's good, man. Because
it's just you, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Like the game project was a collab between myself, LC, Sky Beats, and Hal Photos. He was our cameraman. And he pushed a lot. He did a lot of behind the scenes stuff as well. But yeah, like, so that was a collab between the group of us, and we're not like an official band or anything like that. We're not really a group. It was just sort of something that happened organically, and we'll definitely do it again. But yeah, like in terms of my own career, it's just me, man. Me doing everything.
Have you had it any different before? Have you been in projects where you kind of had to follow along?
Yeah, like, I think like at this stage, it's definitely been a choice, to sort of just work on my own thing. Been in a few bands, been in like some duos with one of my close friends, and like it was all good. But yeah, it's just a totally different experience when you're the person that checks yourself and you're the person that sets your limits, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So every time, like, because I've been between a few bands, and every time I leave a group, I think, okay, I should just do stuff myself. Like, you know, you've got that time, you've got that thing. Yeah. So you start doing it, and then I just like. I know, for me, I suppose it's different because, you know, being in, like, a metal band, you want to have that real, you know, you feed off other people's rhythm and stuff. And then when you're trying to do stuff yourself, at least for myself, like, you're like, oh, I want to have that sort of vibe. And you sit there in front of your computer, I'm sitting there with Fruity Loops trying to program drums.
Yeah.
2 hours
draining,
later,
right?
I'm still on the one loop trying to work out how it goes.
Trying to get,
Trying to figure out which snare sounds the best.
Legit.
Yeah, and it's like 4 a.m.
Why doesn't it sound like Deftones yet?
I should have got it. Like, no, that makes, I hear that, man. Yeah. Like, I reckon like a good person to bring up there is like someone like Skrillex, because like, he came from that exact scenario. He came from like a band scenario, and then I think that could be why he probably went to electronic music. Maybe was because it's like instead of programming like a band yourself, you can do it through like electronic sounds and get away with more, I guess.
Yeah, but like I admire people like that can do like a whole thing by themselves, because I feel you need so much like self-motivation to be able to sit down and focus
definitely.
Especially for someone like me, like I need to feed off other people.
Yeah.
I've always toyed with the idea of doing something myself.
Yeah.
But I just know that it'll just end up me, like you said, like just in front of the computer, stressing out more about things that don't exist.
Well, they say, you know,
Yeah.
you're your own worst critic.
Yeah.
And like, you know, you sit there for it's like, to me, like, you know, things can start sounding all similar.
Yeah,
and you know, to be able to sit back and essentially assess your own work.
Yeah,
and find out what's right or what works and all that.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. Like, I think it's definitely been like I've been doing this for a while now, so for people that like don't know me or people that just catch me rapping now don't realize I've been rapping for a while, and excuse me, I've kind of like stepped in and out of doing it. And the reason like I initially stepped out was more because I've always been like a US artist inspired person. I was raised on US hip hop, so by the time it came to me actually rapping, and I'm in Australia and my environment's Australian and my peers are in the Australian hip hop scene and they listen to Aussie hip hop, I didn't fit in. And it's not to make that an excuse, but like I just didn't feel comfortable being in that world. And so I spent years trying to make myself comfortable in that world, and in the end I just didn't ever feel like I achieved that. So that's when I got to the point where I was like, I'm just going to make beats. I'll do something where I don't have to use my voice, where it's a little bit more, it's not locked down to being here. It translates into the world a lot easier. And that's kind of, that was the first sort of spark, and that got me over to the States and got sort of some attention around the world, got some of my idols sort of looking. But like, yeah, like coming back to rap after that experience was for a totally different reason. And I think like getting back to like doing it all yourself as well, it's like it's taken a long time to get into a studio on my own and be able to bounce off myself without it being like I'm my own worst critic and I'm like my worst enemy because I'm haltering myself. I'm doing 200 takes, or you know what it is, like because if there's no one to stop you, man, you'll do 200 and then you'll be like, holy shit, I did 200 takes just then.
I'll sit there writing a song for 3 hours and I'm still writing the same song.
Is it weird for me to say when I hear Aussie accents in hip hop? I hate to say it, but I kind of feel a bit weird. Yeah,
like, again...
I'm just too used to hearing the American accent. It's probably just what I'm used to.
That's me too, like, that's my ears. And I think, like, it's not to take away, like, there's a lot of talent here. There's a lot of really talented musicians. There's a lot of really great music coming out here, but I'm the same. It's like my ears tuned to a different accent. Yeah. And, like, I can appreciate UK hip-hop, I can appreciate US, I can appreciate, you know, like... I can appreciate accents, but for some reason, to me, like, I don't know. And again, it's no disrespect, because I think I probably feel the same way if I listen to like Scottish hip hop or something like that. But
is that a thing?
I don't know. It must be, man. Like, hip hop's everywhere, right? Like, so, but like, I suppose, like, to me, like, the Aussie accent isn't flattering in hip hop. And again, that's no disrespect to anyone. Shout outs to all you guys doing your thing. But like, yeah, that's just my ear. It doesn't sound flattering. And again, there's it's fading out now, which is really inspiring, but there's been this ongoing trend of like kill shot reference, yelling at the mic when you're like rapping, and like I'm the opposite, man. I rap at this volume. So, and that I think is why people go, you sound US or you don't sound like an Aussie, and it's like, it's because I'm not going when I rap.
It's like got that same opposite vibe of like Perth bands trying to be Norwegian black metal. Oh, you grew up in Perth, mate. You didn't grow up in the hills of fucking Sweden or where.
The icy mountains.
And also, like, on that note, there's a lot of other accents in the world that choose to just sound American rather. Like, look at New Zealand, for example. They don't rap in a Kiwi accent. You never hear a Kiwi accent in a rap song. You hear an American accent from New Zealand, or you hear like.
That's interesting.
You know what I mean? It is.
Well, it comes down to like just, I suppose, in vocal training as well. You know, how you learn and what you take up on. Because I know a lot of metal bands that, you know, they have a very Australian accent, but when they sing, they've got that very American growl sort of metal to them, and you're like. Yeah, and then you hear them once the song's finished, and they pick up the mic and they're like, all right, thanks, mate. That was really cool. Like,
cheers, cub.
Don't talk, just sing.
Just sing only. Yeah, legit. Well, and like someone like, again, like there's huge artists like Kylie Minogue. she's not copping flat because she doesn't sing in an Aussie accent when she sings her songs. It's like, and like, sure, you got folk artists that do, but even then, you look at like a lot of music in Australia that's not hip hop, and again, they don't sing in an Aussie accent. So it's like, I'm kind of over the whole debate of like, you should or you shouldn't. It's like, to me, it's like, if you're comfortable, that's what counts.
Well, vocals is an instrument just as much as any actual instrument themselves, and it's the way you
100.
the way you practice it and the way you train yourself to do it. And,
Yep, 100.
And I find the American accent, like, there's the rounding of the R's, right?
Oh yeah.
So with Aussie hip hop and stuff, it just gets very you know, like very. There's no, you can't really distinguish. Well, when you compare it to mumble rap now, you can't understand it anyway. But like, I don't know. There's just something in the. You know, I listen to a lot of Mos Def and like Talib Kweli, and that kind of, it reminds me of the old school hip hop.
Yeah,
how things used to be.
Yeah.
But I reckon that there's a lot of there is Australian hip hop that essentially embrace the whole Australian thing, like Heel Drop Hood's Downside and all them that
Draft,
really, you know, they're sort of they emphasize the Australian.
And that's
thing.
dope, man. Cause like,
they make it work.
And I think like that's what I was saying earlier. Like, it's not disrespect or hate, because it's like, if you relate to that and that's your thing, then that's your thing. But it's just not mine. So that's where my stance is. Like, I'm not from that world, even outside of music. I'm not like an Aussie dude. I'm just not. I'm not like a true blue. I don't like. You know, I'm just not into. I don't watch football. I'm not like. I'm just not an Aussie kind of guy. You know.
You just got to deal with the punters afterwards saying, "What? Why are you trying to be American?" Like, fuck
legit.
off.
But it's not about that. It's more about having music that everyone wants to listen to, not just Australia, or not just my neighborhood or my mates, or like I want people to be able to listen to it anyway.
I'm not sure when it happened, but I've noticed like just pop radio stations now, and even like stations like Triple J, like just this increase in not just hip hop, but like just mainstream pop hip hop.
Yeah.
Now it's like cool to rep that stuff or to play that stuff, and even like I'll admit I'm on the bandwagon as well. Like, there's just been like a huge resurgence in that.
It's a good thing
thing.
Again, man.
It's a good thing, but like I always think, when did it get so
like that?
Yeah, like that. Like, it was just now every time, like every 10 minutes, you'll hear a hip hop song on like a rock channel now.
Yeah,
like it's crazy.
Or on like Nova or something like that. Like hip hop is the biggest genre in the world now. It's like everywhere. It's on ads. It's freaking. It's like covered everything, and it's not like a claim that it's that case. I kind of think it's not a good thing, because hip hop to me was like a way of thinking and a way of like living and a way of like processing things. And now hip hop is like it was a fashion sense, but now it's like it's more a surface thing than a real thing. It's like you can be like a hip hop head, but you don't know what hip hop means. You know, again, a girl walked into work the other day. You'll know this. I don't know if you were there actually, but she walked into work the other day in like a Wu-Tang jumper, right? And like big ass Wu-Tang logo on it. I was like, yeah, sick. She sat down. I was like, yeah, dope jumper. And she's like, oh, thanks. And I was like, I can't remember. I like quoted a Wu-Tang line. She like looked at me and then Calvin was shout out to Calvin Young. Like I think he was serving her and he brought it up, and then like caught her later, and it was something like she just didn't even know what Wu-Tang was, and she's like, oh, I just like the jumper. And again, it's fine. It's not a big deal, but that's kind of where it's at. It's like people think 50 Cent is an actor that's trying to release rap songs. You know, there's an area of the generation that think that. That think, oh, that guy from Power is trying to rap now. It's like, holy crap.
Well, like when I think Wu-Tang now, like you look at their symbol. Like they got that iconic symbol where people recognize the symbol, but don't actually know what the artist is.
What it is,
And I find it the same with Misfits.
Misfits.
Like you see the skull is everywhere. And that's actually quite sad. Like you go into fucking Target and you'll see Misfit stuff and shit, and people wear it everywhere, and so many people won't actually know the origin of what that shit is. And it's like,
same with like and dudes wearing like metal bands, and they don't even listen to the music. And like, again, it's not like such a big deal, but it kind of is. It's showing where things are up to. Like the Justin Bieber tour, and it looks like a Slayer t-shirt. And I saw a dude, and it's a Justin Bieber tour shirt, and he's like rocking this thing, and I'm like, oh, is he rocking like it? And I'm like, Justin Bieber?
Yeah.
But at the same time, all those people are sitting back raking in those royalty checks, and they don't give a fuck.
Yeah, no, for real. Yeah, no, that's
Legit.
true.
That's for real.
Yeah, it's crazy because I went on a YouTube rabbit hole, and as I do every fucking night.
Yeah,
but,
Alice in Wonderland.
I was looking up like kind of the origin of this whole mumble rap thing that's coming up, which is like, I don't know how prevalent it is, because I'm like you, I soak up a lot of American culture.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's the case here, but it seems like it is.
It's
with a
becoming
lot of the younger kids. Like,
yeah, definitely.
You'll have like 12-year-old kids like singing along like Little Pump lyrics.
Yeah, dude,
like,
they do it all the
obscene
time.
shit.
They come in and play it at work, and
and I was trying to like
gangster tunes.
pinpoint like where did it start, and I think it was like a lot with Future kicked it off, and then Migos obviously like catapulted it, but then there's this whole like new breed coming up of the Lils, you know, like the Trippie Redd, like you know, Lil Peep, like all these like Lils coming out,
Lils and Youngs,
Lil Pump,
and
you know,
Tinies, and
Lil Uzi, like all these people coming out. Yeah, exactly.
You've literally started talking gibberish to me.
Yeah, no, sorry, Johnny, but
it is gibberish.
But it just became cool to like not even enunciate. And just
not even try.
Yeah, not even try.
Well, that's kind of what it is, man. I feel like it's the resurgence of like, and it's not a good thing, but it's like the resurgence of like this generation's anarchy, which is to just like, we don't give a fuck about anything. We don't make effort. And it's like, and so that's kind of why like I kind of get this generation, but you guys are doing it wrong. You're meant to care about something.
You gotta stand for something.
Yeah, you can say fuck everything else, but you gotta have something first.
Yeah, you gotta have some
just
sort of
say fuck everything.
Exactly.
Like, at least care about the music, or at least care about like have something.
Yeah. What was that artist you showed me one time? That video that was like that very sort of distorted, angsty screamo rap.
Oh, Scarlord.
Is that it?
Yeah, Scarlord.
Like,
I heard that.
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
That's actually like, you look at it like, I see that as like a modern horror type thing, because I watched that and I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like
it's on par with metal or punk to me. Yeah. Or like horror.
It's got
punk,
that very.
You know? Yeah, I mean, he's out of UK. And he used to be a metal singer, but then he kind of transitioned into trap.
Is that UK?
Yeah, so he's from UK.
Shit.
Yeah.
Like, so you already, like, I'm like, that, I wouldn't pick that.
Yeah, so he's rapping, but he's also like, blah, blah, like screaming the raps. And it's like over a lot of like really heavy trap music, but it's kind of modified with like some double kick in there. So there's a lot of
so there's like
elements.
metal influence in there.
Yeah, and he dresses
actually.
He dresses really dark, like with chains and stuff like that. So very
he's got
metal.
that like sort of bandana, like
he's got a mask. Yeah.
Like that very anarchy kind of. I'm gonna throw a Molotov cocktail.
What's his name?
Scarlord, but it's all with X. It's with X's like you. Yeah, Scarlord. Yeah, he's wicked. Yeah. Do you want me to play some?
No. Wait a sec.
Can we pull it up?
How do you spell it?
SCX.
SCX.
LXRD.
XRD.
Hey?
So like the vowels are replaced with X's, which is
that is hardcore.
Has he got like dreads and shit?
Yeah.
He looks kind of looks like Triple X. Man, they all have.
Your girl is a hoe, mother.
Oh, for real?
I know who his girlfriend is.
Oh shit.
She's from Perth. She's a hoe.
What? She's from Perth?
Yeah.
His girlfriend's from Perth.
Yeah.
That is weird.
Wow.
Man, that's all.
When you just said his name, I was like, I know who that is. Yeah.
And there's this massive.
You unlucky, bro.
Yeah. Holy shit! There's some shit I don't know about, but that massive like. Man, dyed dreads, man. Everyone has dyed dreads now. All of them, man.
Yeah, like, they all look like pineapples. That's the thing, right? That's the thing, right?
What's your heritage, man? Do you mind me asking?
Yeah, that's cool, man.
Yeah.
I hope my extended family don't watch this. I don't know the answer to that.
Oh, really? Yeah.
I know, like, okay, so I know my dad's side is like Irish, English, I'm pretty sure.
Right.
My mum's side is like, I think we like tracked it back to like, she's like Welsh and Spanish, but then there's this. Yeah, no, she won't watch it. then there's this weird scenario where we're kind of iffy on who my mum's dad is.
Right. Okay.
So, yeah, we're a bit. There's like a genetic. We look very different to kind of other people in our family.
You're one of those like beige motherfuckers.
Yeah, like a blend.
I can't quite tell. You're like, oh, there might be something dark in there, but I don't know.
I don't know if it is or not. Is he tan? Is he like,
I never would have picked it, man. I had no when you look at Ollie, like you can't pinpoint it, right?
I'm pretty sure like there's some Aboriginal in there, but like I don't really try to make that a thing because I'm not like I don't have any like Aboriginal culture in me or anything like that.
Right,
I wish I did.
Yeah.
You got the wandering vibes.
Yeah, legit, man.
Yeah, man.
Not pinned down.
Nah, just
People think I'm Korean or Japanese all the time.
Really?
Yeah.
No, you just fit into the Asian.
Yeah, you're just
culture,
Asian spectrum.
No, but like other Chinese people walk up to me and they're like, "Are you Japanese?" And I'm like, "No." Yeah, it's like even they can't really pinpoint what it is.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I mean, like I come across too Australian, but I'm like completely South African. I'm actually a first generation Australian, second one in my family born in Australia.
Really?
Yeah, entire family is South African.
How unfortunate.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. That's cool, man. Yeah, that's cool.
I remember like I met what's his name? I can't remember his name. From Run the Jewels, Killer Mike. I met Killer Mike once, and he did the same thing. He's like, "Where you from, man?" And I'm like, "Yeah, like Australia." And he's like, "Yeah, but like, what's your background?" And I'm like, "I don't know, man. Like English, like Irish, Welsh, something like that. Like maybe something else." And he's like, "White?" He's like, "No, you ain't white." I'm like, "Pretty sure I am." I'm like looking at my skin. I'm like, I'm white. He's like, "Nah, you ain't white." He's like, "You're something, but you ain't white." He's like, "You Puerto Rican or you something."
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, he's denying my answer. He was like, "Nah."
Do you tan? How do you tan well or do you burn?
Yeah, dude. Nah, I tan.
All right,
like,
there's something in there.
I both, but like I hold the color. So like, by the end of summer, when I was younger, people used to think I was Aboriginal.
Right.
Just because of like the tan.
tan.
I got the same thing. Actually, had someone ask me, "Am I like?" No, at first I thought I was ethnic.
Yeah,
because like I go brown. I'm browner than him in summer.
Sap up the sun, eh?
Yeah, man. Yeah, you look like you could be. Back when you had dreads as well, that was even more deceptive. So Johnny used to have like arse length dreads.
Yeah, real dope, man.
And for real, he looked like you could be like quarter Jamaican or some shit with your dreads, man. Yeah.
Dope.
Yeah, but that is not the case. Yeah, man, you've worked with Matsu heaps, right?
Yeah, man.
Is he one of your good friends?
Yeah.
So what's his actual name? Daniel Craig. Daniel Craig. He's an amazing video director.
James Bond.
Legendary, bro.
What?
Yeah.
Daniel Craig. Yeah, true.
He loved it. He loved it when that came out.
But yeah, I've had the privilege of working with him. He's amazing.
Oh, he's
amazing
a legend,
director, man.
Me and Dan met in like beginning of high school. We knew each other when we were younger, but we didn't realize until we were older. Right. So I knew his younger sister when I was like 5 years old. And then when we got to high school, we met each other and claim to fame. I'm the one that told him to start photography. Yeah, Dan.
Yeah, for real.
No. Like I remember like he was working at like a uni, and they asked him to like take photos of the students or something. So it was more like a uni thing he was doing, and he took some photos. And I can't remember how it started, but he showed me some of his photos. I was like, "Man, like you got a knack, eh? Like you got a natural." Straight away, I was like, "You ever done that before?" He's like, "No." It's like, "It was really fun." I was like, "Dude, get a camera."
Yeah.
His shit. Now look at him.
He's fucking amazing.
Beast,
but
bro.
not only that, but his actual post-production skills are fucking insane.
Bro, he's a freak.
Have you seen his Photoshop work?
Oh man,
it's out of this world. So he
people
does,
don't.
like,
I feel like he's
over
over people's heads. They look at the photos and they don't realize that like he's made that happen.
Exactly.
It's not a photo.
Yeah, exactly.
He's built it.
Yeah.
He's crazy.
So
man.
there's some illustration in there for sure, right? Like he paints. And
I don't even. Man, I don't know.
Colorize it.
Yeah,
who knows, man?
Yeah, he's a wizard.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. That's
just an Instagram filter over the top of it.
Yeah. That's all it is. It's just visco filters.
Because he goes in and out of Japan. Because his girl's
she's Japanese.
So,
yeah, shout out to Kyoka. She's awesome.
Yeah. So he managed to take a lot of stock footage in Japan, and we managed to stitch a video together. So.
Oh, was that for you guys? That video.
Yeah, the one that he filmed.
Oh shit!
Yeah, it was
that's
really
crazy.
cool.
Yeah, he was. I saw your video being made.
Oh really? Oh, wicked, man. Yeah, it's wicked. And yeah, really cool scenery, and there's a lot of slow mo stuff as well.
Yeah,
some high frame rate slow mo stuff.
Man.
Yeah, so
dope.
awesome, man. But yeah, man, fuck. Oh, how do you feel? Does this feel alright?
It feels good. Well,
you feeling good?
I feel at home.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, wonder why. Yeah, that's wicked. It's sounding good. It's looking good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's feeling good.
I like it, man.
I'm still not used to these knees, man, being exposed. Yeah, I hope no one can see it.
Naked knees.
They can see how skinny my legs are.
Just need to wear leather pants so they blend in with the couch.
Yeah. That's wicked, man. So how often have you worked with Matsu? Has he done any of actual clips or?
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Like again, like thank God to have him as like my best friend, because like when it came time to start shooting videos, he was my dude, and already at that point he's a freak. So it's just like it's good to have your best friend who's like an incredibly talented visual wizard. Yeah, he did my first video off my mixtape. Take It Back.
Yeah, cool.
You see that one with the double dragon jacket?
Is that where
Chinese varsity?
You're vaping on that as well?
No, that's Very Fun. So
that's Very Fun. No, that's one of my favorite.
Yeah, that was also Matsu. So that was the second one he did for me.
Yeah, wicked.
And then Game was just us, just in-house.
Right.
Purely because Dan's just flat out. And he's killing it.
Yep.
And
yeah, for real.
Yeah, I always feel guilty sort of asking for like mates rates from him. And at this point, you know, I'm like, oh man.
Well, music videos are not cheap, man.
No, and they're not easy either. Like they take effort and concentration and time, and
yeah, it's in the thousands, man. For easily.
Yeah, definitely. Especially when like if I'm taking his time, someone else could be paying him that money.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, man.
Yeah,
I've seen some quotes for videos, and it's like, man, I could mortgage a house with that.
Oh yeah, dude.
Like that, it's that high.
Legit. Crazy.
And it's weird because now it's so disposable. Like media is just up on YouTube.
You spend all this
so
money
like,
and then it's just
out like for free, man. And people are watching it while they're on the toilet, going, next.
Yeah, legit. And
it's like,
bro.
man, do you know that
spent $1 million on it?
Spent all my life savings on that fucking video.
I kind of feel like I don't quite get that, man. Like I watch a lot of big artists with big budgets, and they spend millions of dollars on videos. And like, sure, you see some of them, and you're like, okay, yeah, that's $1 million. You see where the money's spent, but at other times, I'm like, man, you could just be creative. You could just be like a little bit more creative.
Do more with less.
Like you don't have to spend $1 million on props. Like just think a little bit more.
Tame Impala that filmed a whole video clip just using their phones?
Yeah, see, that's dope.
Just like using.
Probably. Yeah.
Well, you showed it to me. Like,
that's all you
like
need.
The entire video clip just on their phone, and
dude,
that's actually a thing that like we're walking through the city, and someone's filming one of the stores down there, doing a whole sort of promo video just through their phone.
Yeah, you can now, man. I mean, you got 4K video off a phone now. Why not?
Exactly. Yeah, phones are getting crazy now, but
Legit.
for very little now, you could do most of your own stuff, really.
Hell yeah,
DIY.
Hell
then that motivation has to come in to actually do it.
Well, that also goes into the argument of flooding the market with so much stuff when anyone can do everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like,
I also think that's why it's important to be more creative now, because like everyone and their cat can put a video on the internet. So it's like music videos mean less. Like you said, it's like it doesn't matter the money now. It's like, what's the idea gonna do? The idea needs to have replay value. If it doesn't, then like you just fade into the saturated market.
I used to, actually stay up and tape Rage. Like that's how much I liked music videos. But
I used to love Rage.
Yeah, and
I used to take magic mushrooms and watch it.
Really? For real? Yeah.
Me and my housemate.
It's weird, and you kind of know it's that time of the night. You know when you come home after a gig back then, and you turn on TV and it's Rage, and you're like, oh, I know it's late now.
Oh, yeah, man.
Shit, 4 a.m. or something. Yeah.
I feel like now you need to go back and write 30-second songs just so you can Instagram daily them and have your entire track just as a daily.
Like, for real.
Do you want another beer, Ollie?
Yeah,
man, go for it. I didn't know you. I was worried that you were
I'm not really a drinker, but
you're not really. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I'm sorry, because I associated your vegetarianism with not drinking, which is a very, very irrational and unjust way to judge someone. But yeah, because I hate like flashing beer in front of someone and like I don't drink. Yeah.
Did you just assume my like self-destructive nature?
How dare you? Oh my god, how dare you? Yeah. Oh, you got the bottle opener? Yeah, wicked. Yeah, man. So, man, I've jumped on the bandwagon. I always listen to mainly, just bands. Mm-hmm. But I don't know what swept me up in the whole trap hip hop thing. I think it's only been a recent thing. Like I've always listened to hip hop in general here and there. Like I've dipped my feet in, but now it's like the new metal.
Well, yeah, it is
like because Ben Smith said this. Every generation needs a genre of music that pisses the parents off, right?
Yeah, hard.
And now it's like hip-hop. Just hip hop and taking Xannies and drinking and fucking bitches, right?
Yeah,
that's the whole thing now. Well,
it's like it's done it a few times, man. Because like if you go back like a generation of hip hop, you find like who are they? I'm trying to think. Like there's that Art of War album, and like there was a point where hip hop hit that metal point. And then it disappeared again, and now it's hitting it again with like the little Olithvgxd and like these dudes that are like it's trap music, but they're like rock artists. They dress like rock artists, they behave like rock artists. They're like their shows are like rock artists. They just don't have a band and an instrument, and so it's like I think that's another thing that the old heads kind of get. I hate using that word because it's not old heads. It's just like
it's just the previous generation.
Yeah, the previous generation.
And it's going to happen to this generation as well.
Well, the previous generation now are probably the ones that grew up with like Metallica and
Slipknot
I suppose like not to like our older generations grew up with the old 70s bands that era. Yeah. And now it's like the 80s, 90s sort of stuff. They're the parents now.
Yeah. Well, like the reason I hate the old heads term is like that instantly makes it sound like anyone that likes older hip hop or like like more quality hip hop, so to speak, is an older person, which is I don't think that's accurate. I've come across a lot of dudes on the net that are actually the current generation that know what's up as well. So like there's a conflict. So yeah, I don't like that term because it makes it sound like it's age related, which I don't think it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I think that is what the older generation also don't get about the current generation. They see these rappers jump on stage and they like barely, they're not concerned about their technical performance. They're concerned about the energy, which is what I mean by like, they're like rock artists now. They're like, it's stage diving and crowd surfing and like.
I mean, I've seen hip hop artists actually calling for circle pits. That's a metal. That's a metal thing, man.
There you go, man.
Circle pit's a metal thing.
Yeah.
Like Olithvgxd's got like 3 upside down crosses on his fucking stage. That's his backdrop, So like the whole
he loves the devil.
like you could argue, man. Like it's performance, it's rock, but it's also a double-edged sword, man. Because whatever you put out, you're getting that shit back. You know?
Legit, man. I don't ever think this is the perfect place to talk about it. I don't ever think anything's just performance or just.
No, I think it's
intentional, man.
The performance is almost to disguise that intention underneath.
What the intention is, bro.
Yeah, and
that's why people are like, oh no, it's just a trend. I'm like, no, it's not.
It's not a trend. Yeah, it's affecting you as well.
It's a conscious decision, man.
And fucking Olithvgxd came out and he was like in one of his shows. I think it was Reading.
Can I have a hit of your vape?
Oh yeah, go for it.
I want to taste it.
I think it was Reading, and he was saying, "You are going to hell."
Oh yeah, bro.
Yeah, and you are coming with me.
Dude. That's the thing is they say it all the time, and listeners just blow it off as like that same old. It's just movies, or it's like no, man, it's not a figure of speech. Yeah. When they're saying the same things, when 50 to 100 different artists are all using the exact same keywords, it's like that's not a figure of speech,
man. Yeah.
And they're telling you like, man, I love Satan, and you're like, they didn't hear the joke there. That was just admitting it.
All talking about selling their souls and
legit.
shit, for money.
It's not like a coincidence.
Yeah,
and then talking about getting whacked.
Oh yeah,
and then getting whacked,
and then actually getting whacked,
and then actually getting whacked.
Yeah, Hollywood hitman.
Hollywood, man, they totally exist, man.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
If you think there's nothing suspicious about the recent slew of fucking hangings, man, this is what I don't know if it's not to sound old or generational, but I worry that the new generation will stop questioning.
Oh yeah.
And I think every generation worries about the following generation, but I really worry that this new crop of people, man.
I think we're the last. Yeah. We're the last chance, bro.
I think
yeah.
I think you're right.
When you think about it, when more artists start talking about it and making songs about that stuff, it's essentially turning into a joke. And it's the same way when desensitizing, the same way with movies and stuff, where Illuminati's out to get me, Satan's coming, all that stuff. When people start flooding that stuff, it just becomes
normal.
Yeah. And essentially, then it just
So that when you bring it up, they're like, well, that's everywhere. You're not.
It's normal.
It's just normal, bro. Like it's just an act, you know. It's crazy, man.
Maybe that's part of the plan. Maybe that is the plan. And then they can install 5G into every street corner.
I think that is.
But everyone's have to then hit the kill switch.
I heard a really good quote.
All right, shit.
I'm with you. That's not too far fetched for me.
It's actually not. That's the sad thing, is it?
Yeah,
but I genuinely worry because you hear the term like fake news, like that. Everyone's just throwing that around, you know. And anything that doesn't align or that might lie outside of the mainstream narrative is now fake news, and that's a very smart tactic, man. Because now you can just pass off anything that might be legitimate.
Yeah, but what if
fake news?
But what if the fake news is the fake news?
Yeah, right.
Maybe.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing, right? We've got this crazy climate of like fake news and like extreme like you can't. It's almost like we're losing freedom of speech at the same time. We've got like fake news, and then we've got like extreme like morality. You know, like you can't have conversations anymore because people are triggered on so many levels about so many things, and it's like, where are we getting to? Like, what's the end goal here? If we're gonna all back this and all gonna be like, oh, you can't say that triggers me, and my feelings matter more than my environment and my society, it's like. Are any of us thinking about how this is going to wrap up? Like, what's the point?
It's I've been saying it for a long time. We're going into a worldwide civil war. Mm-hmm. We'll be fighting against each other. That's the easiest way to wipe out a population, is to make them fight each other.
Yeah,
make them kill each other.
For sure, man. And that's one of my hunches on like the whole Trump thing. Is like. Again, people are like, oh, it should have been Hillary, should have been Trump. It's like, no. Left or right, red or blue, black or white, you're going to get the same result no matter who's standing in that little box. And it was either going to be Hillary Clinton with a smile on her face doing just as dodgy shit, or it's going to be Trump stirring the pot, getting everyone pissed off. Like, they're getting the same outcome, either person. And so I feel like that's what Trump is, man. He's there to push your buttons. Yeah, but get everyone turning on each other and fighting each other.
Yeah. Yes, and you look at the outrage that ensued when he was elected. It almost felt like a fucking civil war was going to break out in America again. Yeah. Just because one person was elected president that other people didn't like.
Yeah, legit.
No, yeah.
But it's permeating everything now. Like, even with comedy, you just have to mention Trump, and the whole crowd's just on your side.
That's fucking eggshells. That is fucking eggshells.
It is, but it's so cheap now. Like,
it's
like, look, better than something Trump. And even just saying Trump.
Yeah.
Like people go, yeah, I'm with that guy. Yeah, cool. Because people love being fucking outraged, right? Well, but you ask those same motherfuckers, name me one bill that you don't like that Trump has passed.
Yeah.
They couldn't fucking tell you.
Yeah.
They don't know. They love being outraged at the sensationalism, by the hype. He's just the political Kanye. That's all he is. Exactly. That's why they were both photographed together, man.
Last week there's there was a thing on Today Tonight about some chick a prostitute or something that was apparently hired by Trump and stuff. She's telling this whole story about all this Trump sort of shit going on. Tom Arnold has this new show coming like The Hunt for the Trump Tapes, and you've got all this media that's going this whole against Trump type thing. And what's Trump doing? Nothing. He's sitting in his office being a fucking president. He's not up there trying to defend himself and arguing. He's like, fuck it, because that is probably the fake news. That is probably the idea of what they're trying to do.
And I think this is the other thing as well. I saw some girl break this down on YouTube, and it just blew my mind because she really nailed this. She was like, America needs to stop ragging on their president. She was like, he's already president. You need to accept that. Like, you might not like him, you might think he's a fuckwit, but like the news, comedians, rappers, like celebrities, everyone in the country is giving him shit. Like main station news, like actually dissing their country's president on national news casually. Now, like what her point was like, if you're going to rag him out and get it to the point where what do they have to do? It's called where they overthrow the president.
Impeach.
When they impeach the president, right? And they like, it's like the country and all of this like fake news, what he refers it to as, is like trying to drive to impeach him, right? Now, like her point was that at that moment in time, the whole country goes into like a can't remember what it's called, where the police take control
martial law.
Yeah. So during that time period, the whole country goes into martial law, and she was like, you have no human rights. At that point, the police can walk into your house, put you on the ground, and do what they want. Like, there's no one in charge of the country. So she was like, it's more dangerous for you to rag on your shitty president than it is to suck it up and wait for him to pass and vote for someone else. She was like, the country needs to stop, because if we hit martial law, we're all fucked. Like, and I kind of feel like that could be half the game plan, is like, he got in. I'm at this, like, I'm 50-50 on him, because I remember when he was going for president, he actually said during, like, he said on the podium, bro, he was like, I'm going to win this because I'm going to pay for it. He said it, man. He's like, I'm gonna win because I've got more money and I'm gonna buy this out. Yeah. He said it across in front of the whole podium.
He's indirectly kind of showing you and proving how shady the system is.
That's my point.
By the very
I'm just gonna win.
Exactly. Yeah. So he's like indirectly exposing how
fucked up it really
fake
is.
This whole political system is, this whole bipartisan, you're left or you're right. Like, it's absolute horseshit.
But at the same time, you look at what he's doing to America.
Oh yeah, like no, totally. I'm not supporting him either.
He's like, almost.
I'm half. Like, because he's done really good things.
He's like a necessary evil. Yeah. Like, I think he's trying to actually do. He is an American. Like, I mean,
he's building their economy back, man. He really is. Yeah. Like, you can't deny that.
Hey, look at that whole fucking North Korea, South Korea fucking shaking hands. You know, name one president that's actually done that. Hey. That's a fucking baller. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? Hey. And he's been doing so much shit, but at the same time, people overlook that because they want to have this media. They want to have this stuff. Yeah.
Well, they want
because what do they get out of it? They get money out of it.
Exactly, and they get clickbait and they get hits. You know, they get people looking at what's Trump said now, and you'll hear people mindlessly parrot the headlines that they've read, but they don't know the bills he's passing.
They don't know anything about what he's doing. And they probably
couldn't. If you were like, look, name one good thing. Like, if you're looking at him that closely, just name a good thing that he's probably doing. Just one small thing, and they can't.
You got nothing.
Because they've been trained like fucking monkeys just to hate on this guy.
Just to hate on him.
Yeah, it's working, man. It really is. It's all part of the game to, like, get people so outraged that they're completely distracted from what
they can't actually pay attention.
Well, you look at one of the big outrages is Trump being on good grounds with Putin in Russia.
And again, why is that such a big deal?
Exactly. Is
that not a good thing?
I'd want to be friends with Russia, because I reckon Russia could fuck you up. Like, Russia's probably got so many hidden shit.
Yeah.
I saw a video. You can probably pull this up on YouTube still. I saw a video of, like, their military, their head guy in charge of their military in some press conference, and he was drunk as, man. And he's like sitting behind the table, and he's like drunk ranting, man, at a political conference. Yeah. And he's like, when he said it, man, it sent chills down my spine. He's like, America thinks like we have like nukes or something like that. He goes, you know, while you guys were figuring out how to make bombs, we were making other technology. and he goes, I can press a button that'll put everyone to sleep and you'll never wake up. And he's drunk, and he just said it in front of all these other politicians. I can push a button and you'd all just go to sleep and never wake up. He's like, we're on different technology to you.
Yeah.
I was just like, real, man, I would be friends with them too. Like,
man, I am fully, we always talk about this, but I'm fully convinced. I'm going to put my tinfoil hat on now.
Bro, mine's always on.
Man, like, we are actually a good, maybe half a century behind real tech, man.
Bro. Yeah,
and a lot of people it even extends to, like, you know, talking about the Bible and how we're inheriting old tech at the moment, and what we think is, giving birth to and current actually has been in play for a long time, man. Like whether it's AI or anything like that.
Well, just think of GPS.
Yeah.
GPS that is in phones, computers, cars, all that shit is US military technology.
Yeah.
It's actually still running off US military satellites.
Yeah, if you actually look at SatNav and all the GPS, the source of it, when you really break it down, is military. A lot of our tech is basically trickle-down effect from military, man.
Yeah.
Always. Military gets it first.
The research and development.
You think fucking drones are just a new thing, man?
Yeah,
fuck off, man.
Legit, bro.
They've had drones for fucking 40 years.
Hey,
they were trying to, Operation Northwoods, where it all started, man. You're going to fly drones into Cuba and shoot it down.
Hey.
You're going to tell me that they just want to make it cute now for kids to play with,
Yeah, oh, it's normal.
But drones
the same desensitizing.
Yeah.
It is desensitizing, yeah. But I just want to say drones are pretty cool.
Yeah.
Drones
to play with.
I got one. I love it.
Yeah, but
it becomes a norm. Like when people start seeing drones flying up down the street, we'll be used to it.
Hey.
When we see a drone rock up with red and blue flashing lights and a fucking little gun camera pointing at you, saying "Citizen, what are you doing?" Like we'll be like, "Oh shit, right, yeah."
Back to the Future too.
Yeah. And I just want to add as well, Obama. For all the people that love Obama, man,
he's the worst human.
He ordered the most drone strikes on Yemen and the Middle East.
He's the worst human, bro. That's what blows my mind is that people, I'll bring Obama back. It's like, you obviously, just like Trump, have no idea what he actually did.
Obama killed so many people.
He was
he won a Nobel Peace Prize.
Dude.
Because he's got swagger.
Yeah, that's because he can fist bump. Because he can fist bump.
He can fist bump, he can dance on the Ellen show like a fucking
Oprah Winfrey.
Yeah, legit.
Yeah, he was the opposite of Trump. He was doing the most evil shit, but he was liked.
But he had the silver tongue, man.
Yeah.
That's what blew my mind. People are like, oh, but did you hear him speak? And I'm like, yeah, but did you realize someone else wrote that speech?
Exactly.
Praising him on his words that he didn't write.
So like when it falls in line with what you like, you don't question.
Yeah. It's like,
so it's
don't you
funny,
get there's
man.
20 people that figure out what you like so they can write a speech for you? Like
exactly, man.
People just don't know how it works. It's pretty weird.
Crazy.
Can we swing this over to Australian politics?
Ooh.
And how many prime ministers we've had in the past?
It's a joke.
What's the time?
Yeah, next week. Last week. Yeah, legit, bro.
Yeah.
That's Australian politics is even more of a joke. And the only no one even watches it, and when you do, you see them half asleep. They're all sleeping. You're like, these people run our country, guys.
Have you you watch C-SPAN? Where they film they broadcast the House.
Mr.
It's like
Speaker,
a bunch of
Mr.
fucking
Speaker.
school kids hanging on.
It's
like the Speaker.
Yeah, dude. And they're like, oh no, we're like these fat, obnoxious, fucking like immoral.
It's an absolute joke. I feel ashamed,
bro.
When I see that.
They're embarrassing, and it's like we sit back at home and watch this and are comfortable to let these people make decisions for us.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and they sell you with the idea that, okay, we're going to vote for a party and they want this person to lead the party. And everyone's like, okay, cool. This is our thing. We go out, we vote. Okay, we want that party because we want that person in charge.
Yeah.
In charge, whatever. That person to be the representative of our country.
Yeah.
And about a week later, no, we want to get rid of this person. We want to put someone else in. And the people are like, oh, but that's not why we chose. That's why we voted for you. It doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
We're making this call. Executive decision. Whole country, no. Executive decision. We'll call it.
Switch the puppets around.
Yeah,
that's all it is. Yeah. But I hate to break people's bubble, but Australia's a corporation anyway.
Yeah, bro.
And it's owned.
So. I'm amazed you know that.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, for real, man.
Not many people know that is real.
It's actually patented by
there's two
an American private corporation.
There's two Australian governments in action at this very moment. And not many people know that's true. Yeah, we're like registered in the American Business Registry.
Yeah,
as a business. Yeah, legit, bro.
Yeah,
legit.
Australia has its own ABN.
There's two. Yeah, legit, bro. There's two governments. There's an actual one that was founded when they founded the country, and then there's another one that's in the American Business Registry, which is running the country right now. I hope we live. Fuck.
Yeah, but we still have the old political template of the Commonwealth. The whole Parliament system, is very British.
Yeah. Well, I think that's the thing is the Commonwealth was the original one, but there's another one that's unofficial, that's writing laws and doing everything that essentially we don't need to abide by, but we don't know that.
Do we still? Is it the Attorney General, which is like the Australian representative to the Queen, or some shit like that?
Not sure.
I'm pretty sure that's
This is beyond my league now.
There's a dope YouTube video that this guy breaks down all of it, man, and he's from Perth. And
he was trying to move a car.
Yes, you've seen it.
He was trying to move a car.
What the fuck? But it's like FUQ. What the FUQ? And he unravels the whole thing, man. And it's that blew my mind.
Yeah, how he basically he wanted to import a car. Was that it?
Yeah, he wanted to import a left-hand drive
car,
or
and
something.
there was all these like red tape forms he had to fill out. And I think he was trying to. He basically questioned whether he had to do this.
It came down to them like charging him on things that they didn't need to, and they ended up like he kept going, no, that's not a tax, or no, that's not something that I need to pay for, and they ended up getting it down to they were charging him for the air conditioner in the car, and it got so ridiculous. Like it from his end, it got so ridiculous that he was like, "There's something not right here. Like they're trying to get money out of me." Yeah. Every time they ask something, I go, "No, that's not right," and they back up and come up with another one. And like he was he was like a super yacht captain, so he was like hell pedantic, hell OCD kind of guy. Yeah. So for him, like when it triggered him, he just went OCD and like went through looking for the needle in the haystack, right?
Yeah.
And just unraveled the whole thing. And he was just like, holy shit.
He went right down to even like the spelling on the contracts and the forms.
Yeah, bro.
Like,
and the logos.
Yeah. So
bro, that blew my mind.
When it's spelt in all caps, that's the sign that it's actually almost like a company, like a private.
No, well, it's like he said it was like something really tricky, like the Parliament of Australia or the Australian Parliament. They're two different bodies.
Two different bodies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Parliament of Australia is like the official one, and the Australian Parliament or Australian government is the American business. And the real one is like our like emblem for our country is like totally different to the one that we have on the government, on the one with like the he was like, it's a totally different thing. It's like a lion and a what is it? A lion and a unicorn is our actual Australian badge for our government. But we don't know that. We all see the swan and the kangaroo and think, oh, that's the Australian government, but that's the American business.
That's the false front,
that's the false front.
Yeah, that's crazy. So literally, they're fucking you over with the law.
Fucking us all over, bro.
through the law. Like, it's crazy.
I hope I have a career after this.
Yet at the same time, you've got to admire the Australian mentality where we're just like, nah, fuck it.
Yeah, dude, that's right.
Yeah. We're not going to take fucking guns and knives to each other because we're just like, meh.
Well, I always call us the America 2.0. We're like the America Petri dish.
Yeah.
Because they can see where they fucked up there. And we've got a lot of the similar things. We've got mad patriotism. We're like patriot through the roof, you know, like Australia, like we're so patriotic, and the same way America is, almost to the point of ignorance. It's like patriotism comes before like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So but we're like docile. We're more docile than Americans. We're more like complacent.
Complacent.
So we're like the 2.0 of the US citizen. We're like the better, easier to manage US citizen.
Off, mics on, red light, let's get it. That's been the mindset for at least about a minute. Scheming in the kingdom, black and white checkers. Dope boy 6 like some good fellas.
Yeah.
We're back. We had a break. We had a quick pee break, but I think one of the cameras was flashing, so we got freaked out. Yeah. How do you get that sound on your vocals?
Which part?
I don't know. The I don't know how all the rappers get that.
It's funny, like, I've had a few people try and...
How do you do it?
I've had a few people do that.
Tell me the
How do you do it? Give me the signal chain.
Give me the recipe.
Yeah, no, I'm not getting it out. No, to be deadly honest, it's more about how you perform it than it is about the plugins that are on it. And I think that's something that people get all wrong. They're like, oh, it's like, how does yours sound like this and not mine? And it's like, it's not even... I mean, it is. It's the settings as well, but it's more so the way I rap. and the way I use my voice.
Right.
So there's for all you motherfuckers, you know who you are. my inbox got filled up for a little bit, and I was just like, I'm not telling you.
Yeah.
I learned this shit.
It's the same like recording guitars. You know, you record a dry signal, and you can reamp it as much as you want, but if the dry signal sounds like shit, it's going to sound like shit.
Right.
Yeah.
So you have to perform it, actually, you have to play it properly.
It's the old, you can't polish a turd.
Yes! It's my favourite saying.
Or can you?
Can you? Well, you can, because the industry's proof of it at the moment.
Hi-yo.
Hey, boo, boo,
Yeah,
boo.
because you can't just slap auto-tune and get that sound. You can't, right? Because it'll just tune.
I was guilty of that. I thought
Yeah.
you could. No.
Yeah, but you can't, because there's a natural weird I don't know what it is. I don't know how to describe it.
It's how you like. Yeah, it's the way, like, to get autotune to sound good, you have to know when to sing flat. That's really what it is.
Yeah.
Because so it's a really weird technique. Like when I first started, I couldn't do it, and after a while, I had to learn to like bend into a place that I've been training myself not to go.
Yeah.
So yeah, it made me actually appreciate people like T-Pain and shit like that, and not so much Future.
Wait, is T-Pain the guy that raps with The Lonely Island?
Yeah.
T-Pain's the original autotune, man.
Yeah.
No matter what anyone says, bro, T-Pain is the first dude.
Yeah.
It was
See,
his thing.
He can sing as
He's
well.
a dope
man.
singer,
He's
bro.
actually
He's a dope
really
musician.
good singer.
He's
He's amazing. Yeah.
Ye fucked him around. Like they all fucked him around, man. And he is the original autotune dude, man. I'll say that to the day I die. And respect T-Pain, man. Shout out you, bro.
Lonely Island. That is my gangster shit right there.
Why?
There's like, I know they're taking the piss out of it, but some of this stuff sounds so fucking.
It still
like,
sounds
legit.
good. No, you're right. Yeah, it still sounds good. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. T-Pain's better than Future. Yeah.
No, well, like it's not even just that. It's like T-Pain is musical, and Future is guilty of it, man. People praise him, but he literally just puts autotune over his voice. Half the time, it's not even in key with the song.
No.
like-
you hear this la-di-da-di-da, la-di-da-di-da, that one.
Yo,
And what's
TDE, why did you let that happen?
Yeah, what's the other one? Turn in my chin.
Fuck.
Turn in my chin. You know that one?
Dude, yeah. Dude.
He actually said he was so high on Molly that he couldn't open his mouth. Right, so that's how it came out.
That
Yeah.
that track that he featured on the Black Panther album hurt.
Yeah.
Like that track was so dope. That J-Rock verse, one of my favorite verses on the whole album. And then Future comes on there, and I was just like,
Why?
I was like, why did you guys, like, you rapped, then he got in there, and you guys were like, okay. Like,
Yeah.
I'd be like, wait, no, do that again. Like, that's not the take. Like, what the fuck?
I remember
That
watching
fucked me up, bro.
a featurette with Will.i.am from Black Eyed Peas, and about all this crazy shit he does with his vocals. And essentially, it's like when you strip it away, it sounds like shit.
Mm-hmm.
And he just adds all this stuff on just to essentially mask what he's not achieving.
That he sounds like shit. Yeah, dude. I'm definitely like, again, I probably will, I don't know if this is true or not, but I probably behind closed doors cop flack for using autotune lately. But for me, I'm definitely of the school of like, I want to be able to sing. I'm not trying to hide things. I can sing without autotune.
Yeah.
I can rap without autotune. I sound good both ways. I'm using it as a texture, but I don't ever want to rely on it to hide my imperfections.
Exactly, and I think autotune has a really cool effect.
Yeah,
to
I
it
like the
in
sound.
general. Like there are other people. Like I like Bon Iver, like a guy named Bon Iver, and he's worked with Kanye a lot.
Yeah, hard.
But how it turns into another instrument.
Yeah, hard.
And I think
It really
sometimes there's how sterile and robotic it sounds is the vibe.
Yeah, hard.
And it could, it makes you feel kind of weird. It's unsettling sometimes to hear it. But like even Imogen Heap, you heard of Imogen Heap? Like she uses a lot of autotune, but in such a tasteful way.
Well, that's what I was about to say, man. Like, whether we realize it or not, autotune's on everything we're listening to at the moment.
Yeah.
That's what people don't get, is like, when they can hear it, they think that's autotune. It's like, man, autotune's on everything all the time. It's just whether or not you can hear it. It's not that it's not there.
Yeah.
It's like half these singers don't sound like that.
No.
Like,
yeah.
there's a really weird one lately on like the one of those like singing shows.
Right.
And he's he's a local artist. I can't remember his name. He's like uses loop pedals and shit.
Sam Perry?
Yeah, that's Sam Perry.
Yeah, Sam Perry's been on the podcast.
Yeah, dude.
At the bakery.
Like he's
Dear
really,
Santa, yeah.
Like I remember seeing him when he back in the day when he started doing that loop pedal thing, and like he's really good at it. And I remember like DubFX, he was like the first dude, right? You guys know DubFX?
Yeah.
He was like the first loop pedal guy, right?
Yeah.
And then Sam Perry was like our version of DubFX. And he was really good. But even then, like I saw him on that Voice or something like that recently, and it's like, it was so dope. Like his performance is dope, but it confused me that he was on a singing show using like effects and tuning.
I think
and
actually
delay
I watched some of that and
reverb, and it just confused me. It wasn't that it wasn't good what he did. It was that I kind of felt like if it's a singing competition, then aren't they all shouldn't they all just get auto-tune and like what are you judging them on now?
I just remember I did watch that. There was that one episode and he had like all the
he had his
stuff.
whole
all that stuff. And people actually was saying something like you're using that because you can't sing, and I think like the episode after he came out without that stuff and he just showed people that he could fucking sing.
Totally.
And he's not hiding behind it.
Yeah,
It's like,
totally.
fuck, yeah.
And like that was what he needed to do, but I think it wasn't a, what I'm saying isn't like a judgment on him, it was a judgment on the show. It was like, like the whole country watches you judge people's singing quality, so bring him on, but bring him on just as a singer. Like if you're going to bring on one guy that, like you've never done that before, you don't have other dudes come in with rigs and auto-tune and a DJ setup, and so like, I don't know, it was such a weird thing for me. People are like, whoa, that was crazy. I was like, yeah, it was crazy, but he should be like Australia's Got Talent or something where it's like there are no boundaries. And then when he sang, it was like, yeah, dope, because that's what the show's about. Like, take the pedal away and sing. And again, not on him, on the show. Like, it should be like,
My plan is if I ever do vocals, there's going to be so much distortion, so much reverb, so much delay, so much auto-tune, because I could not sing for shit. I will hide behind that stuff.
It's weird. I can hold a tune.
I'll hide it inside a mask, like a microphone.
Inside it,
Combined Death Toll style, like
totally.
a mask when you
Combined. Oh, that's really going back. Combined Death Toll. Jeez. But do you think everyone thinks that they can sing?
I think because of auto-tune, everyone thinks they can sing.
Really?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people think they can sing and they bust it out and they can't. But here's the thing, I can't sing either. But it's a weird thing because it's so, your voice is like in your head. So how you hear things is so, like when you're playing an instrument, you can be bad and you can know you're bad, but a lot of people that are bad singers don't know that they're bad. Like
you get the same, like you see some people up on stage and you're like, oh, I don't know, but at the same time you got to admire their confidence to just get up there and do it.
That's it,
and just like even like they might know that they're not that good. I know I've seen a few bands. There's I'm not going to name a band, but there's one girl. I don't think she was like easing into being a singer, and she actually kind of didn't sound that good, but I think that confidence boost of actually getting up there made her a better singer, and made her thing, and it's just like
and people just generally get better and they learn to how to navigate that whole minefield. But the one thing I don't this is probably something that you're going to know, but with hip-hop, like they yell their lyrics.
Well, I feel like that's almost in America it's a different thing. In America it's a choice. I feel like, again, coming back to Aussie, and not always ragging on Aussie hip hop, but I feel like that's an Australian thing.
Really? I find that with even American things.
Definitely American things, like, but it's more of a style. It's a chosen style in America. So not all American dudes yell. And when they do, they're choosing to yell because they want to sound like a yeller. You know what I mean?
Yeah, or to hype the crowd.
And maybe in live shows, definitely. And again, this is just my total personal opinion, but this is like my breakdown of it, is like in Australia, when you're in the hip hop thing, because it didn't start here. So I mean, even when I started hip hop, I got flack for it. And like now the generation's like, if you're a rapper, before they even hear you, they're like, oh, that's dope. But like when I started, it'd be like, you wanna be Eminem, like you get ragged on for being into it. And I think that like what that means is like in Australia, Aussie hip hop starts with like, you rap, you go to a pub where there's a shitty mic level SM58 and you start yelling, and that's the technique. And you then you go into a studio but you've already been rapping in pubs and things for months and months, and you've developed how to rap really well on stage.
Yeah.
So by the time you get into the studio, you're doing that technique. You're in front of a condenser now, but you're still yelling as if it was a dynamic mic.
Yeah.
And so, like, again, that's the Aussie hip hop sound. And that's also where I think the really strong accent comes from, is that they're over articulating, and because they're yelling, the twang really comes out. Whereas you look at American hip hop, it's totally different. Like, most people in America are like wanting to grind. In Australia, like, how many dudes you know that have a hip hop studio at their house, or how many dudes you know that are ready to?
How many dudes you know?
Scribe. But yeah, no, like legit. So, like, you know, in Australia, instead of finding your mate with a really good studio, you end up in a pub. Whereas in America, it's the other way around.
Yeah.
What they're trying to do is get a recording setup going.
Yeah.
So they don't do live gigs. They are rapping in their mate's studio first. So they're in front of a condenser first.
Yeah.
And then a dynamic second. And that's why you see US artists usually suck live. Because they're studio rappers. So they get on stage and they got no breath control. They only rap half their verses. Like, they yell and they do this a lot. Whereas Aussie rappers rap the whole song.
Yeah, they rap the whole thing. Yeah.
And that's the contrast. We're really good live, but we're half the time really bad in the studio.
Yeah, street rap. The street rap vibe going on. Ain't no one take it.
What is that? I'm not sure what that is. But yeah, like sometimes, you know, like a rap verse will be quite low, like blah, 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 that sort of dynamic.
Yeah.
And then you see them get on stage and they just yell it.
Yeah.
And then they keep like doing it, and then they're like, how about...
They're not in the same range.
Yeah, exactly, because I come from bands. And
you want to sound like the studio.
And I'm like, cool, like, but I want that same...
Yeah,
like,
you want to sound like the track.
Yeah, exactly. You want to sound like it's brewing, it's coming, but there's no dynamic. It's all up there. It's all... And they're just yelling and yelling and yelling. And you're like, that's cool, but that's not... They always have the backing track underneath as well.
And that's a US thing as well, is that they have the song playing.
They yell over the song. It's kind of like karaoke.
Yeah, well, it's happening here now too, man. Like, I remember, again, when I first started with, like, hip-hop groups, it was sacrilege to do that, to have, like, a backing track with your song behind you. Like, you just didn't do that. You rapped over the instrumental. And then I remember, I won't say who it is, we saw this group. They're a big group. I'd love to say who it is. We saw this group. They're a duo. We saw this group.
Dropping hints.
Yeah. We saw this group do it for the first time here, an Aussie group, and they had. We were supporting them, and they had when they got on stage, their tracks, like their hooks, just sounded so big, and we're like, what the hell's going on? And we were watching them, and we went side stage and found out, like, their hooks have backing vocals on them.
Yeah.
On the instrumental. And we, at that point, were like, we got to do that, because, like, again, like, it's good that I didn't say who it was now, because I think we murked them in our live show, and we were the supporting act. And I think that was kind of the general consensus, was that we actually performed way better than they did. But they sounded way bigger because of this little thing they were doing. And so we started doing it too. We went back into the studio and started tracking, like, not the official hook, but like little support hooks and little like support vocals and
when you watch like an artist and they have like a live stream of, because that's the thing that really exposes these artists, because, you know, like a lot of Reading or, you know, Download Festival, like the big festivals, they'll just run the output through the live stream, and you can actually literally hear when the guy is fading out the actual mic and replacing it with
the backing track.
And so you'll see him just like mouthing the words, but they're not. Nothing's actually coming through. It's just a backing track. And then when they're like, "Hey, everybody having a good time," that's when they bump it up again back to the mic, and they're just doing a switcheroo all the time.
Always.
All the time.
You know who's really bad for that? And I have no shame saying his name. ASAP Rocky, bro. When he came to Metro City,
right?
Him and his whole band were faking. The entire live band weren't playing their instruments, bro.
That's
the bass
crazy.
player the bass player, my homie told me this, I didn't see this firsthand, but he was like shocked. He'd paid all this money and he was standing there and he just picked up on ASAP lip syncing, and he was like, he's not even rapping. And then he like looked over at the rest of the band and he like looked at the bass player, and his exact description was like, it looked like ASAP just got one of his homies that was on the tour to hold the bass because like the guy wasn't even mimicking what was being played. He was just like like literally not even in time, not playing the notes, like didn't know what. Just,
they got Jimmy from catering to just hold
legit, like, yo bro, like yo, just put this on, hold the bass, hit it a few times, we'll be good. And like
how could you? This is a thing though.
That's what sucks, bro.
Surely, I mean,
that's expensive tickets.
Do you know what the sad thing is? If I got paid, I'd probably mime as well.
That's funny, yeah.
Yeah, there's so much like smoke and mirrors with those shows, man.
100.
Yeah.
For me, like, I like performing, man. It's like, I don't know. It's funny, I say I like it, but I'm not really there when it happens.
Right, yeah.
Do you feel that as well?
Yeah,
Same?
absolutely.
Like, you come out the other end and you're like, huh.
Yeah.
It's like you
psych yourself up an entire week for like a 20, 30-minute set, and you're like, oh, wait,
the whole
was that
time
it?
it's happening, you're like, oh wait, that's done. Oh, we're done.
Yeah.
Like you don't notice it happening.
Like, well, I turn into a different person.
Yeah, same.
And a lot of people do, and I think that's.
I go into like the flip side of me.
Exactly. Yeah. You almost bringing out a part of yourself that isn't there.
It's not present on
the daily, but it's in there.
Oh yeah, dude, I get that all the time. Like people hear my raps, or like especially at people at work, and they like hear my music and they're like, but you're so nice.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, no shit. Like, like
here's the thing though. This is what I want to always say to people. I am so nice because I have an outlet for
everything else.
Everything else.
Yeah, totally.
And people, when they don't have that outlet, they are just themselves.
Comes out in them. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's all they have. But
totally,
people are just freaked out. Like, why are you so high energy and happy? And I'm like, that's because the other 12 hours I'm dark as shit. I'm just like brooding and like depressed. But I have these bursts of energy, and they come out either socially or on stage.
Totally, man.
But that's how I'm able to have that energy. Is that I'm accepting of myself in the dark moments.
Totally,
as well.
man.
And I think a lot of people can't identify with that.
It's got to like. I think that's another thing I really don't like about this whole like woke, new wave BS at the moment. Yeah. It's just like. Like spirituality is balance. It's not pure positivity. It's not. It's all shining. It's not how it works. And like, if you think it is, and you can't be negative and you can't be this, it's like you're playing yourself, man. Like spirituality, you have to own your dark side.